Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Chiu and I'm now at the school hall, very empty school hall. So today we are going to look at a new and quite important theory. It's about equilateral triangle. So equilateral. Equilateral triangle. So what does it mean by equilateral triangle? Equilateral means this triangle. Okay, please look at this triangle. For a triangle, there are three sides. For example, for this one, we have 5 cm, 5 cm, and 5 cm. And when all the sides are the same, we call this an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. So please look at this one. If it is given that it is like 2 cm, 2 cm, and 2 cm, then this is also an equilateral triangle. Okay, equilateral triangle, equilateral triangle, and this one. So if this is 6 cm, 6 cm, this is 5 cm. Is it an equilateral triangle? No, this is not. This is not equilateral triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. When there are two sides the same, we call this isosceles. When there are three sides are the same, like this one or this one, then we call this an equilateral triangle. And we can also use some symbol. For example, if all the three sides are using the same symbol, one little line, one little line, and one little line. This also means that it is an equilateral triangle because this length and this length and this length are the same. They are using the same symbol. And likewise, you may also come across with double little lines. It has the same meaning. It means that this length and this length and this length, they are the same. And that means that it is an equilateral triangle. Okay? So for all these equilateral triangle, it has one property, which is all the angles are the same. All the angles are the same. All the three angles are the same. All the three angles are the same. As we know that all the three angles, when we add them up, it must be equal to 180. When all the three angles are the same and the sum of them equal to 180, that means that each of them should equal to 60 degree, and 60 degree. For equilateral triangle, no matter how big or how small it is, the angles must equal to 60. Okay, so the reason that we use is property of equal dot. This is the abbreviation of equilateral triangle. Property of equilateral triangle. So let's go back to the math. This one. What kind of triangle it is? 4 cm, 4 cm, and 4 cm. So obviously it is an equilateral triangle. Okay? For equilateral triangle, we know that all the three angles are the same, and they must be equal to each of them equal to 60 degrees. Therefore, can you tell what is x? Yes, x equal to 60 degrees. And the reason is property PROP dot, it is the abbreviation of property. Property of equa dot, EQUIL dot. This is also an abbreviation of equilateral triangle. So this is what you're supposed to write. Property of equilateral triangle. Next question. So what about this one? You have to find x, but how? Look at this triangle. Is it familiar to you? We have little two lines, double little two lines, double little two lines, right? So that means that this length and this length and this length, they are all the same. We could call this an equilateral triangle, right? And if it is an equilateral triangle, what are these angles? This one and this one and this one. How big are they? 60, 60, and 60, right? They are all equal to 60 because it is an equilateral triangle. So you may write down this one. This one. How can we name this angle? This angle is angle ACB. From A to C to B in the middle, this angle. We call this angle ACB. ACB is equal to 60 degrees. The reason is property of equilateral triangle. This one is 60 because property of equilateral triangle. And now, do you think that you could find the angle X? The yellow one. BCD is a straight line, so that these two angles, when you combine them, they will become a straight angle, right? So x plus 60, what is the size of a straight angle? 180, that's right. Reason? Adjacent angles on straight line. Adjacent angles on straight line. Remember this reason? When you add the two angles up, they become a straight angle. And for a straight angle, the size must be 180. So therefore, move the positive 60 to the other side, to the right-hand side, becomes negative 60. We have x equal to 180 minus 60, and x equal to 120. Okay? Let's move to the next one. This one. So, this is an equilateral triangle, right? Therefore, can you tell what is the size of this angle and this angle? They are both equals to 60. That's right. Because it is the property of equilateral triangle. You may put it down, this angle, how do we name this angle? This angle is from C to B to D. You could call this angle CBD. And this angle, the name of this angle should be from B to D to C, angle BDC. They both equal to 60. Reason, property of equilateral triangle. Okay? And now, remember that in Form 1 we've learned this. When we have a pair of parallel lines and then a straight line cut through them, then these two angles, they are on the same side. A and B on the same side. Yes. When we add them up, they become 180. Remember the reason? We call it interior angles. Interior angles. So here, we've got the same situation. We have a pair of parallel lines and then a straight line cut through. A pair of parallel lines and then a straight line cut through them. So therefore, these two angles, yes, they are also interior angle. If you add the two angles up, it must become 180. Therefore, this angle consisting of two parts, x and 60, right? So x plus 60, this angle, and this angle also consisting of two parts, 60 and 2x. And the relationship is interior angle. So if you add them up, they become 180. Interior angles. Note that there must be a pair of parallel lines in order to use interior angles. Therefore, when you use interior angles, you have to mention which pair of parallel lines. And the parallel lines in this case is AB and DE. AB parallel to DE. So let's try to simplify. We have x plus 2x, x plus 2x. We have 60 plus 60, which is 120, equal to 180. And let's try to combine the like terms. 120 positive, let's move it to the other side, become negative 120. And x plus 2x, can you combine them? X plus 2x becomes 3x. 3x equals to 180 minus 120 becomes 60. And that means x equal to 20. Because we divided both sides by 3, right? We divided both sides by 3 so that we could tell what is the value of x. 60 divided by 3 becomes 20, 20 degrees. This is the value of x. Okay? Now let's look at the last one. The last one, this one. Okay, so many data here. Is it very messy? Look at the big picture, the big triangle. So please think, is it an equilateral triangle? We have AB is 5 cm, AC also 5 cm. What about BC? From B to C. There are two parts, 1.8 and 3.2. If you add them up, 1.8 plus 3.2, what is that? Yes, it becomes 5 cm as well. So that we have 5 cm, 5 cm, and 5 cm. That means that it is an equilateral triangle. The yellow triangle is equilateral triangle. Okay? So that means all the angles, this one is 60, this one is 60, and also this one is also 60, because it is the property of equilateral triangle. Okay? Now, there are two things that we have to find. We have to find x first. So let's consider x. X is an angle inside this triangle only. So we have x, we have 60, we have 39. So what happens if we add the three angles up? X plus 60 plus 39 will become how many? 180. Angle sum of triangle. Right? So let's try to move the 60 and 39 positive to the other side. They becomes negative. So that here we have x left behind. X equals to 180 minus 60 minus 39. 180 minus 60 minus 39 becomes 81. So this is the value of x. And then what about the value of y? Y and 39, when you combine them, these two angles, we know that it's going to be equal to 60, right? Y plus 39 must be equal to 60. So we could put it down, y plus 39 degree equals to 60. And you may also use that recent property of equilateral triangle. So y equals to 60 minus 39 degree. Y equals to 21 degree. Okay? So this is the property of equilateral triangle.